The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Why does the United States spend the largest percentage of GDP in the world on healthcare? Why do we have the highest cancer rates on the planet, the highest rates of diabetes, autism, and every other major disease? It all comes down to one thing. We are what we eat. Our food is devoid of nutrition and processed with poisons and additives. Our water is filled with toxic poisons and big pharma runoff. All of this has been engineered by design. We can turn the tide against the eugenicist by giving ourselves the nutrients our body desperately needs. To learn more, visit InfoWarsHealth.com. The site is literally packed with audio and video featuring top health professionals who don't bow down to big pharma. The fight against the New World Order starts with you, and you can't stand against the machine if you're sick, tired, and obese. When you visit InfoWarsHealth.com, be sure and check out the catalog with nearly 400 life-changing products and get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip. Hi folks, Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex. The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com.
Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Oh, they dolled up Obamacare. They said there weren't any death panels. It didn't ration care. Didn't kick pre-existing condition folks off. You could keep your doctor. Firm pledge. It would lower your premium to the cost of a phone bill or cable bill. I don't know, maybe for a whole hotel. And mine has doubled since it went in 6 months ago. Geraldo Rivera was on the show a few months ago. His has tripled, and for that of all of his 6 employees, tripled. And my dad's is more than doubled. And everyone I know, it's at least doubled. Because some it's only gone up 45, 50, 60%, but most people it's more than doubled. So if you average it, it's about a doubling, to be technical. And that's just year one. I mean, this is just going to get better and better. And the reason I raised that is they said, hey, if you don't like Obamacare, you're racist on MSNBC and CNN. And there are no death panels, and none of this is true. We had the bill. And now Obama acts as a dictator, implementing what he wants, where he wants. Oh, unions, you're exempt, but not families. That's the ultimate form of discrimination. While they're talking about discrimination, we don't like it because he's black. Let me tell you, I'd vote for a black man in about half a second if he was like Ron Paul. I could care. I'd love it. It'd be even better because then they couldn't attack him as much. But they would, though. It wouldn't work if they were libertarian or conservative. It is so disgusting when Obama said 2 weeks ago in a Time magazine interview, and was something in the New Yorker, similar things, that, well, my poll numbers are down because of racism. What? What? And I'm ranting. We got Phyllis Schlafly with us of eagleforum.org. And Ms. Schlafly is like one of the icons of true conservatism in this country, best-selling author, constitutional lawyer. Getting into amnesty, how do we beat it? Where is it? But then we go to the next problem. As you know, your best-selling book's out about it. Doesn't matter. Obama is just legalizing a bunch of the illegals, ordering the courts to let people go in the amnesty courts. He's just doing it by executive fiat to begin with. So where's the Republican leadership beginning impeachment of the president turning the office into a dictatorship?
Well, I hope you saw him on your television screen when he said he has a pen, and he can do whatever he wants to do.
And a telephone.
And it is. And it was so arrogant. It was so condescending to Americans. It was embarrassing if we think we're a self-governing people. And he has changed his own law, Obamacare, I think personally, unilaterally, about 30 times. And he just wants to do whatever he wants to get the Democrats reelected. And I think the only way we can save our country is to elect a majority of conservatives to the U.S. Senate in November and get the right guys nominated in the primary. And it is so important because, for example, if Obama gets another appointment to the Supreme Court, he would rule the country with his nutty ideas for the next 50 years. And we cannot afford that. We need to have enough senators to stand up and say, we're not going to give him any more judges, because some of these, I call them supremacist judges, are as bad as Obama in trying to remake the law and dictate to the American people.
You've been fighting this tyranny for 60-plus years as a constitutional lawyer, but I've studied political elites, I've studied history. Even if you were a corrupt elite, America and prosperity is incredibly profitable. You would rather skim off the top of that big largesse than destroy it and debase it all so you can run it. But tyrants always debilitate everything because they hate individual freedom and they jealously want to shut it down, thus destroying the engine of their own success. But I want to warn the political elite, including the Democrats. You are literally burning down your own house. You guys run the country now, and you have such a long-term hatred of men and of families and of women and of prosperity and of just uprightness. I mean, I've really studied these people, and now I've come around to the understanding that they really do want to screw stuff up. They really are, like Michael Savage said, I think mentally ill. If you disagree with that, tell me, Phyllis. But, I mean, you've been fighting these people for a long time. What is wrong with them?
Well, they want power, and they think the way they would get power is to make the American workforce be in competition with the people in the rest of the world. You know, a lot of our products are starting to come from Vietnam, where they work for 28 cents an hour. And I do not think Americans should have to be in competition with people like that. We have clearly a better system, a unique system, a prosperous system, a successful system. That's why everybody wants to come here. And we should let in only people who like our country, obey our laws.
Like Switzerland. I mean, you could have $10 million. They won't let you in unless you have a skill you're bringing. Switzerland, their money only goes up in value. Their crime only goes down. They get better and better and better. Why don't we do what Switzerland did?
That's right, and they just voted down this increased immigration. And that's why they've been able to keep a free and prosperous country. And we should do the same. But the trouble is the media is so much in favor of Obama, no matter what he does. They try to ruin anybody who criticizes him. But Americans have got to speak up. We have a great country. We need to not let anybody in except somebody who wants to honor our country, our flag, our Constitution. And we don't, and you know, the polls are showing, Alex, that the majority of these people coming in think international law should top our Constitution. You got to be kidding. We're not You and I are not going to let international law trump our Constitution.
That's right, and you have all the polls listed there from the Pew Research, you name it. There's a whole...
Yes, all the ones that everybody else quotes, only they don't seem to quote the part about what they believe on amnesty. But all the polls are consistent in saying that the overwhelming majority of people coming in want bigger government handing out more services.
It's basically like a beautiful ship that's not perfect, but it's the best out there, and you've always envied it, and you finally got on board, and then the Democrats hand you a dynamite to put in the bottom of the ship to sink it, and then you dynamite the ship, and you're sinking, and you're like, I won, I brought down America, instead of just joining with America. There is a real hatred of this country, and I'm sick of it.
There is. There is a hatred of this country, and there's a hatred of the institution of marriage, too, which I hope I have a new book out on.
Yeah, let's segue into that. Let's segue into the attack on religion, the attack on marriage, Obama's...
Well, my last book is No Higher Power, Obama's War on Religious Freedom. And you can see that everywhere, the people who want to be politically correct. Even the military has done some things like clamping down on prayers and the oath to serve God and country, so help me God. And the superintendents of the public schools they're going after little kids, won't let them mention Jesus or sing a Christmas carol.
Or bring a Christmas card, even though everybody else is allowed to do whatever they want.
Yeah. And it's a real war on the First Amendment. Obama's idea about the First Amendment is you should have the right to go into your church and lock the door and say a prayer where nobody can hear you. And that'll be okay. He's not going to take that away from you.
And by the way, for those that don't know, the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. It means you don't have a state-run religion, but you could absolutely come to school and you can hand out Christmas cards, you can hand out Muslim material during the lunch break, you can hand out atheist material. As a valedictorian, you can give whatever speech you want and thank God. As a football player, you can, and they know that, and they are persecuting people where they find Bibles in people's bags in public school in Texas and, quote, throw them in the trash and suspend them. This is outrageous authoritarianism.
And, of course, the Founding Fathers and all presidents prior to Obama were quoting their faith and their belief in God all the time, honoring the National Day of Prayer. For example, when Obama gives a Thanksgiving Day address, he makes a whole long list of people to thank, but God didn't make the cut. And he's just trying to eliminate any public mention of God, and our country was built on people believing in God and being religious people and people of faith.
Why is it that collectivists and Soviet types hate God? Is it because obviously the state is God and they don't want any higher power above them?
Yeah, that's right. They want the state to be in control of everything, and we don't. And we've got a proven best country. That's why people want to come here. And it's the most freedom, it's the most prosperity. And Obama has this nutty idea that it really isn't fair that the United States has so much good things of life and more prosperity than any other country and more power than other countries. And he wants to make everybody equal. And we don't want to be equal to all the poor countries. And we don't want our guys to have to compete with people making products in Vietnam who work for 28 cents an hour.
Well, it's not fair trade when we have all the regulations and bureaucracy and shutting down our power plants, and they go to Vietnam with no regulations, dumping the toxic waste right in the river. And this is all about Cloward and Piven making us dependent. In closing, spend a few minutes on the attack on the family. It's so naked now. The attack on women, the attack on manhood. I mean, the MSNBC, I'm sure you've seen their promo where they say, your kids now belong to the state. I mean, these people are really being naked about their takeover. Why do you think that is?
Well, they're feeling that they won, and they want to sock it to us. And the only way we can remain a free country is if parents are in control of their children, not the government. And if we are able to elect congressmen and representatives who believe in limited government, government, lower taxes, and letting people spend their own money.